Assalamualaikum and hello everyone, I'm ARIFAH. Today, we are going to explain about Islamic inheritance law Faraid in Malaysia. Our group chose title about Islamic inheritance law Faraid in Malaysia. This title has 6 topics with their own subtopics respectively. Malaysia is a multicultural country that guarantees religious freedom to its citizens. Inheritance, divorce, religious conversions, and custody are all governed by Sharia law in this country. On the other hand, Malaysia's Sharia law has established positive Islamic law of inheritance. What is Faraid? Faraid, also known as the Islamic law of inheritance, is one of the 3 main of knowledge in Islam. In Arabic, it is called Al-Faraid. According to Siti Fatimah Abdul Rahman, Abdul Malik Yaqub, Ahmad Adnan Fazil, and Muhammad Firdaus Sha'ban, state in their article that Faraid is the plural of Al-Faridah, which means something that is required of the division that has been established with their respective sentences. Before the Faraid is practiced, we must be clear about some aspects. The aspect that needs to be clarified are the maintenance and burial, the debt and the disease, the will of the disease, the nazar of the disease, and finally, the distribution of the remaining property to the heirs who are entitled to it. The principle and condition for transferring the estate of deceased Muslim are derived from Al-Quran and the Sunnah. Islamic inheritance law can also be described as a comprehensive system of inheritance distribution, similar to other fields of Islamic law. Next, the evidence verse on Faraid based from Quran Surah An-Nisa verse 170c. This verse explains on the right and entitlement of the following legal heirs: brother and sister of the deceased, and the entitlement are to be distributed only after legacies and debt are settled. This means that if there is no other legal heirs, the brother will receive the entire inheritance. In the presence of other heirs, such as husband, the brother will receive all the residual inheritance after the other heirs have received their opportune share. The same also applies to more than 2 sisters.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti HAJJATUL BINTI OMAR 1192758. Benefits of Faraid. First, prevent heirs or anyone from consuming property illegally. Second, educate heirs not to be greedy or usurp the rights of others. And finally, avoid misunderstanding and avoid the severance of relationship. Next, we proceed to institution and distribution of estate and applicable law. First, Amanah Raya Berhad. According of the Akta Perbadanan Amanah Raya Berhad, the deceased inheritance consists only of movable goods with the value of less than Rm600,000. If deceased simply leave money in savings financial institution such as BSN, ASB, Pilgrims Fund, or EPF, vehicle such as cars, motorcycles, shares, and dividends, for example. Second, Mahkamah Tinggi. Controlling property left by the deceased, whether immovable property, land, or personal property value more than 600,000, or property intestate for non-Muslim with the value of less than Rm600,000. The High Court also hears appeals under Section 29 of the Act, the Small Estate Distribution Act 1955, which is used in conjunction with the Probate and Administration Act 1959. Third, Mahkamah Syariah handle heirship matters with a portion of each heir receiving a certificate of inheritance. Next, the Sharia Court has jurisdiction over wills, grants, endowments, illegitimate offspring, marriage, matrimonial property, and this lineage judgment is even directly tied to the Sharia Court's decision on the estate distribution. Finally, Seksyen Pembahagian Pusaka or Pejabat Tanah. At the state or district level, the distribution unit inheritance handle property of the deceased who left immovable property, land, or immovable property and movable property such as money bank deposit and so on with a value of less than 600,000. For example, if the deceased leave only 2 pieces of land or 2 plots of land and money in the fund about Hajj.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name NURU HUURUN. I am Abdul Aziz, metric number 1192760. So I would like to continue our presentation, property in Faraid. Form of property that can be divided are Faraid. First, land. Second, building like house. Third, jewelry like gold and silver. Fourth, insurance and cash, either invested or not. And lastly, animal livestock such as goat, camel and buffalo. Next, we look classification of legal years. In a family divided by 2, which is Ashabul Furud Quranic years and Ashabul Residuary years. Ashabul Furud Quranic years are those who share specific in Al-Quran. Ashabul Furud have 3 parts, which is primary years, secondary years, and substitute years. Primary years consist father, mother, husband, wife, and daughter. Secondary years consist germane sister, known as sister who shares the same mother and father with the deceased. Consanguine sister is sister who shares the same father with the deceased. Unerine sister and unerine brother is half sister having the same mother but a different father. Substitute years consist grandfather, grandmother, and granddaughter. Next, division Asobah divided by 2, which is Nasabiah, residuary by blood, and Sabiah, residuary by case. Nasabiah have 3, which is Bil Anaf, Bil Awai, and Ma'a Awai. Asobah group of people who shares inheritance are not fixed. If the Quranic years have exhausted the estate, they will receive nothing. Now, we look deeper at Ashabul Furud primary years. Father and mother will get 1/6 if they have children. Next, husband. Husband will get 1/2 if don't have child, 1/4 if have child. Wife will get 1/4 if don't have child and 1/8 if have child. Lastly, daughter will get 1/2 if alone, don't have other siblings, 2/3 if have 2 or more siblings in the absence of son. So to conclude our presentation, Allah SWT had set up this inheritance law within the system that determine the race and who are the right recipient. Islam has defined a man who is more than a woman. This is due to the fact that men have more responsibility than women. They were forced to pay a dowry and required to take away all of her family life. Apart from that, inheritance, women also receive living or living expense, which men do not receive. They are also not required to bear the burden of living for both himself and his family, as well as the duties that his father will bear. The obligation will be borne by her husband after they get married. By following this Faraid, not only strengthen family bonds but also ensure a happy life for all family members.
That's all from us. Thank you.